What we wanted to talk to you about is what Donald Trump represented. When I think of Donald Trump, the image I see as a sort of Viking berserker breaking through a wall and taking all the first arrows. And you know, it's not necessarily the guy you want your daughter to bring home, you know, but sometimes they can be necessary, even though it's not necessarily the nicest guy, if you like. What do you think his election represented, first of all?
Well, I like that description of a berserker. One of the regular guests on my radio show, who I consider to be one of the greatest minds alive today, is Victor Davis Hanson. And he gave a presentation about, you know, the need of the Ajax, the need of the Patton, these uncivilized individuals that are needed from time to actually save civilization. And I very much see my former boss, Donald Trump, in that light. So what happened in 2016? I don't know about you guys. I love to read. I have you know, two serious health conditions. I can't walk past a bookstore without buying a book, or past a gun store without buying a gun. So I love to collect guns. I love to collect books. I don't, however, read autobiographies. I have no patience for these, you know, 900-page books on what Eisenhower had for breakfast, you know, on February the 12th, 1945. However, in the past 20 years, I've read two autobiographies that changed my life. One of them we can talk about later is Andrew Breitbart's Righteous Indignation, which is he called himself a thoughtless, drunk leftist, and his journey to conservatism. And his chapter 6, if your viewers, your really informed viewers, want to understand how we got to where we are today with the whole of the British establishment trying to stop Brexit, with the whole of the US establishment on both sides trying to stop Trump, you've got to read chapter 6 of Breitbart's Righteous Indignation. But the other book, which is crucial, I mean utterly seminal to understanding what happened here in 2016, is J.D. Vance's Hillbilly Elegy. Now, J.D. Vance was not a fan of Donald Trump. He has become more MAGA in recent years, given the cancel culture. But his story of how he grew up as the scion of an Appalachian clan, working class Americans from the hills, hillbillies, who came from a culture that had a future, could get jobs in the factories, could feed their kids, to a subculture that was destroyed by left and right, betrayed by the Republicans and the Democrats for 50 years, with their jobs shipped over to Asia, riven with drug abuse. He grew up in a single mother household. Mother was a drug addict. That man's story of how he climbed out of that, and the broader context of what the political elites had done to the working class, is an eye-opener. And I'll express it with just one empirical data point. I find it amusing that, you know, an immigrant to America with an accent has to constantly remind my fellow Americans what we actually did in 2016. Because from 1776 until 2016, we had 44 presidential administrations. Every stinking one of them was led by a member of the political elite, either a congressman, a senator, a former governor as president, or a retired general like Washington or Eisenhower. Every single president was a member of the in-set. In 2016, 65 million Americans said, screw that. We want an utter outsider. And it sounds funny, you know, billionaire from Manhattan. But he was an outsider, hated by the establishment, not just the left, but the Republican establishment detested him, made fun of him. And we chose a man who'd never even run for any political office to the highest office of the land. So, you know, politics changed in a way in 2016, and thanks in part, and I have to give you guys credit, it starts with Nigel and it starts with Brexit. The reassertion of representative government, which the left derisively calls populism, which is quite ironic, because what does populism mean? It's popular with most of the people, which is kind of like a definition of democracy as far as I'm concerned, but it is this pejorative phrase today. So in 2016, the American people, black, white, working class, not working class, sent a message to this city behind me, enough, 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 it stops now.
So it's a very, very good point that you're making. So really what you're saying is that the reason Trump got elected was because there was a backlash against globalization.
Yeah, so let me talk about personal experience. So I flew with the president to Youngstown, Ohio on Air Force One. And Youngstown it's called Steel Valley. It is one of the epicenters of the steel industry as was. And we landed on a military base because, he had the convoy and the beast and everything else. He gets off the plane, we get into the convoy. It's about a 20-minute ride to the stadium where there's going to be a MAGA rally. This was in 2017. And it's fascinating. 20-minute drive. On the left-hand side, all we see, one after another, are these disused steel mills, these foundries that are decaying, empty. On the right-hand side, for 20 minutes, guys, we see kids, we see moms, we see out-of-work dads with their little American flags waving at the president's convoy. We get to the arena, 24,000, just packed arena, bosses in the back. I'm taking selfies with the people who are there. And it's clear to me, 99% of the people in this building are either former Democrats or their dads or their granddads were in the mill and they were working class Democrats. The billionaire from Manhattan walks out on the stage. Actually, it was the first lady and then the president. And guys, I kid you not, you can watch the footage. Donald Trump, the billionaire from Manhattan, couldn't start his speech for minutes because the crowd was screaming, USA, USA, drain the swamp. This is in one of the hardest core Democrat strongholds in America. You're absolutely right. It was an up yours to the globalists and their representatives on both sides of the political aisle who had screwed the people who built America for decades. That's what happened in 2016.